And welcome
and we're back.
Welcome to episode 2 of Stop Being Hateful.
This one is called the Doute Files because we're talking about our queen, Kristen Doute.
The inspiration for the whole podcast.
The reason why we're all here today.
Kristen Doute.
Why everybody's here today.
Hopefully, this is, like the part 1.
Of the character analysis of our pod. Where we talk about all of our favorite characters. Even though these are, real people, I don't view them as such. I view them as characters.
They're not... These can't be, real personalities.
I don't believe any of these people are real. I refuse to believe there are people that go out into the world and act like this.
How is this not a scripted, ridiculous...
it's like...
over the top. It's so dramatic, so over the top.
Yeah.
Everything is, how... If this was a real TV show, for Jax, for example... How did the writers... you can't cheat again. You can't just have the character cheat again.
Adam's phone just fell. We're sorry.
Don't apologize.
Sorry to the viewers. Sorry to the readers. Have you ever watched The Bold and the Beautiful?
No.
That's my mom and I's favorite soap opera. Shout out to all my Bold and the Beautiful fans. That is there's a character who's obsessed with one of the girls, and she reminds me a lot, and he reminds me a lot of Jax. And it's the Days of Our Lives, I'm a big soap opera fan as well as a reality television fan, so anytime I watch this show, I'm this feels like an episode of The Young and the Restless, or a daytime soap.
Now, before we get too far in, I'm Adam McAvoy. We haven't introduced ourselves.
Yeah, well, you know who we are. I'm Lori.
All the fans
I'm Adam's
listening
girlfriend
around the world. And
Adam
host.
is my partner in crime and in podcasting. Partner in life and in podcasting.
And I know how to use a computer, so I'm hosting.
But I don't. He's producing because I'm so stupid. But so let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about Doute, and it's important to preface that I wasn't a Doute head until I started listening to the Sexy Unique podcast, and I started hearing Laura's take on Kristen, and then I rewatched the episodes that spiked the most Doute rage within me, and then I realized that she isn't hateful. She's delightful. She's a queen. She's really every single iconic moment of, and I'm holding my notes. I have 3 pages worth of notes. But every single moment of her life has been documented on the show, and I think that is really brave. Do you know what I mean? She's never hidden anything from us as an audience. We've seen her go through everything.
What are you talking about? That's not even close to true. She's one of the biggest liars and manipulators on the show.
That's not my notes.
She spent 2 seasons pretending to not have fucked her best friend's boyfriend.
Well, that's lying. That's different than hiding things. Whereas Lala hides Randall from us, Kristen just lies. But
no, Lala was lying.
Oh, about dating.
Dating Randall.
Yeah, you're right. So I guess she and Lala are kind of deceivers, but I think that
I just don't understand what do you mean lying?
We watched her go through her breakup with Tom Sandoval, the man who she thought she was going to have children with, and the emotional fallout that came from that, and then that was all recorded, and she didn't she never hid a part of her emotions from us as an audience. We see her go through the strife of dating, of watching Tom have an emotional affair with Ariana, and then we watch her break up with him, and then we watch her try to break up Tom and Ariana, and none of it's pretty, and none of it's admirable, none of it's acceptable really, but she does it all because she...
Oh, so what you're saying is you just appreciate her because she doesn't try to hide her evilness, her wickedness.
She's never tried to dilute who she is, or say I'm not going to film this, or I'm going through.
I think that might be the fundamental difference between Kristen and the other cast members is that Kristen thinks she's a good person. Everyone there thinks they're good people.
Well, it's I just know when I read Stassi's book in Barnes & Noble, I did not purchase it. I've read all of it, but I've read increments of it while I go to Barnes & Noble. She was saying that she didn't want to record her breaking up with Jax. She went in not wanting to do that. And I don't think Kristen went in not wanting to break up. But, I think Kristen is willing to put whatever she whatever aspect of her life is on camera, she's willing to put on. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? She's not I don't want this on, or I think she's ready.
No, but I think that just comes from the fact that she thinks what she's doing is in the right.
She's a seeker of truth.
A lot of people...
She's a Mariposa.
A lot of people on the show, would try to hide. Jax didn't want to tell Brittany that he he slept with Faith in front of everyone. He like waited till he was home and not in the club.
He's a manipulator too, though.
Yeah, but he knows he's a bad person.
I don't think he does though.
Well, no, because he's had a lot of moments of clarity, like on the beach with Peter or on the beach with Tom. Usually on beaches.
Always on the beach or in the Reiki sessions with Kelsey,
where he realizes like, oh, I'm doing something that's not like okay to the people around me, and he actually has like outside moments. I think Kristen has those moments. It's just that she still thinks she's a good person. Like she's like internalizing them wrong. Or like,
I guess I don't know. I feel like sometimes I vibe really hard with Doute because there are moments where like I can tell she's like thriving in the negativity and she's really thriving in like being like depressed or stressed out, and like you can tell her brain, like, she reminds me a lot of an abuse victim. Not that I'm saying she is an abuse victim, where it's like when things are going good for her, her brain like can't process it because she doesn't thrive in a healthy environment. She thrives in like, you know, depression and anxiety and like fighting. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think like that's like for me that's a part of why I like her, because watching her is like cathartic for me, because I'm like, wait, I do that. Like, do you know what I mean? I also think that, like, I don't know, I can't describe, I just love everything about her as it, like, on television. Like, I love the way, do you remember we were watching it with your brother, and your brother was just immediately like, who is that? Who is carrying her body that way? Mm-hmm. Like, there's something about her that I just don't think you can replicate.
You don't know what that is, but
she has the star power. She has the star power. She really is recognized for the work that she does.
Which, I mean, you were telling me she's not really in season 8.
Her main drama is that she's breaking up with Carter, and Stassi and Kristen are like, you're not being honest about it. And I think they're being bad friends personally. But, like, I guess that depends on, like, what you think a friend is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just find it hypocritical that Stassi was with Patrick for 4 years, and Kristen heard all of that drama about her and Patrick. Katie and Schwartz got married, and, you know, Kristen was privy to all of that fallout. And then, like, the second she's having a trouble with Carter...
No, it's not the second. This is the big difference, is that, like, she will break up with him, but then just, like, sleep with him. But in which she does with every single other guy.
But Katie got married to the person that she
hates. But Katie never broke up with Tom.
I think that's even worse, though.
No, I mean, not really.
It's even worse.
Not really when you're talking about patterns. And, like, in relationships, it's one singular relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it's a little bit different.
But I don't know. I just feel bad for her. Because, like, I can't imagine going through a breakup with you. Mm-hmm. And, like, obviously we'd still be sleeping together. Adam's face just got, like, his lips just, like, went into his body. Like, he, like, just made the worst face, like, when I said that. But, like, I don't know. I just, like, when you're going through a difficult time... And, like, you live with the person, and, like, the lines of which, like it can't be a clean break because so much of your life is intertwined with the other person. And Kristen doesn't really seem to be, like, able to, like cleanly break it off.
But that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying, well, I guess it is actually kind of similar.
She isn't able to separate it because they live together, so it's like he's gonna have to...
Well, Stassi broke up with Patrick a couple times, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, to me, a good friend is somebody who's like, I know you're going through it, I know you're struggling, and I know that for me as an outside observer, it's very frustrating, but, like, I'm gonna respect your journey of self-discovery, and I'm just gonna be there for you, like, when you reach that critical moment, but I'm also going to be there for you when you fall back into those old patterns, because, like, I'm your friend and you've stood by me and I'm going to stand by you. Like, it's not fair to say, like, you're a liar, you're not being honest with yourself. Like, those are things that are only going to make her retreat back to Carter, because then she feels like she is nobody except this one person. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand, like, their, like, mindset, and that, like, they need to get her away from Carter, but they're just going to do things that, to me, are, like, keep pushing her towards him.
Well, again, Kristen has never listened to anyone.
She's her own person.
Yeah, she doesn't...
Like, okay, so, aside from that, we're done psychologically analyzing Doute. Neither of us are doctors or, you know, mental...
You might not be.
I've been to therapy multiple times, and, you know, I can tell you what I would say to her in therapy, but I'm not licensed to practice.
Oh, okay.
I want to get licensed to practice, though, but just on Doute.
Just on Doute.
Just, like, I don't know, maybe...
What college could I go to
like,
get a
what
degree?
college? Like, I'd show the professor, like, an episode, like, maybe the pilot or something, and I'd be like, what can I do to get this person in particular help?
Just her.
Just her. I don't want to help anybody else. I just want to help Doute.
I mean, she could use it.
She could. So we're gonna
we wanted to do a little, like, game almost.
We're going to play a little couples game.
Because there's been so many Doute, all-time great Doute moments. We made a list of each other's top 5, and we're going to go down, and... we're going to guess
each other's top 5.
Well, not each other's. We're just going to say what each of ours is, and see if they match up. See if, like... You know, like, did we put them in different places in each moment, or, like... Because there's, like, one moment that, like, I can only see as number 1.
And I can't imagine what that is because I know what number 1 is for me. But also, I want to just drop this in. Do you think she's a lesbian?
I don't think she's a lesbian. I know she is bisexual.
You know she is?
We know. It's not I know. We know that she slept with girls on the show.
I mean, just from, like, personal experience, like, I think she is bi, but, like, isn't...
It's not a think. We know she slept with girls. You know, like, and we know she slept with guys.
I think that she is, like, in my experience, girls who, like, can only fuck other girls when they're drunk, like, know this about themselves, but they're not, like, okay with it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so you're saying she's just bi and not okay with it?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still bi. Okay, but that's still bi.
But she uses alcohol to, like, lubricate herself socially, maybe physically.
I don't know.
Well, uses that water bottle. So
I don't know about that. I just think she's up for a good time.
She loves to have fun.
And I think she probably just feels more secure in a relationship with a man than a woman. But sexually...
Sexually, she's like... But why with Brittany? I never understood that.
Because Brittany's, like, sheltered. And
but
she wants to be the person
I'm just saying from, like...
To pull her, coax her out of her comfort zone.
From, like, a perspective of, like, purely aesthetics, I'd much rather fuck Stassi than I would Brittany.
Well, Kristen's not going to be able to fuck Stassi. Stassi's wise to Kristen's ways.
But Stassi
knows all Kristen's little tricks.
Stassi gets so upset though when she's like, "Why are girls going down on me?" Like you can, but I feel like
because she flips out at taking a body shot one day. I feel like
you like lifted Stassi's skirt up and you like started though. She'd be like, "No, this is too much. This is too much."
Yeah, you think that?
Yeah, that's what I think. She'd flip out and then you never talk to her again, and Kristen needs all the friends she can get.
Well, I mean, I don't think she never talked. Like, again, the body shots thing at her birthday. Like
booty shot.
Booty shot. Same difference, but she flipped out and walked away.
Yeah, she was also
left.
You can see in her eyes she is on an Adderall journey.
Probably.
But so I'm sorry. Thank you for listening to us rambling if you've made it this far. So we're gonna start counting down our top 5 favorite Doute moments, and so you want to go with your top 5? You want to do your first one?
Yeah, sure.
We're going from 5, like.
So yeah, 5 down.
5 down. So number 1 will be our most iconic, and 5 is like still iconic, but not as iconic.
Okay. Now I wanted to start off with something that's I felt like wasn't like an explosive moment, but was very pivotal. And that is the "Don't be hateful" quote moment. That's my number 5 because it's so important. But it's not like nothing.
It's really important to our development as a couple.
But it's not really a big show moment.
Wait, did I tell you my dad sent me a text message, or I was like waiting for my dad to pick me up from school, and I was like, "Are you here?" And he said, "Where else would I be?" And I sent him the gif of like, "Stop being so hateful." Yeah. And I got in the car, and he was like, "What the hell is this? Like, why would you send this to me?" And I was like, "Dad, it's funny. Like, I send it to Adam all the time, and he lolls at it." And my dad was like, "Well, I'm not Adam." Then we dealt with a very awkward car ride home.
That's pretty funny, though.
The "Stop Being So Hateful" gif is available on Apple devices.
For those who don't know, I think it's season 5 or 6.
I know, you're the one that dug... I think it's season 5 because that's when Sheena gets married.
It's so bad, but
no, it's season 4.
No, it's not season 4. I wish it was season 4. But either way. It's a moment where they're on vacation, and Kristen has just been shooting
demonic
barbs
to Ariana
the whole entire time, and he pulls her aside at a restaurant to ask her to like, "Yo, could you chill out?" And instantly, even though she's been attacking him.
Is it season 3?
No, it's not season. I went through all the seasons.
Yeah, Adam got me a gift that I'll post on the podcast Instagram at Stop Being So Hateful Pod. He got me a gift that was this moment memorialized. But the
Kristen had been being a monster. Like, Tom and Ariana were on this, like, no aggression, no contact policy, like, just ignore Kristen, until, like, Ariana was just full on crying.
In a taxi cab, which just, it was, I don't know if it was pre-Uber or if it was, like, before Uber was popular, but something about a taxi cab just...
Well, I mean, it was obviously fake because they had a camera in it.
No, but you know what I mean. It just makes it so much sadder.
Yeah.
Like, I've cried in Ubers before, and, like, I've had a little semblance of dignity getting out of it, but, like, I imagine crying in a taxi, you're just, like, you leave it in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I'd want to cry in an Uber less because they rate you.
I have a 5-star customer rating and I've cried in 3 Ubers, so...
I'm just saying, what's a taxi driver going to do?
Tell you to get out.
Same with an Uber, except they don't rate you.
I guess you're right, but...
See, if a guy cries in the back of a taxi cab, he's getting Uber, he's getting 0
0
stars.
There's something wrong with this man.
He has to pay double money. Something.
You tip him like $40.
So
that's your top. That's your fifth.
That's my number 5.
That's interesting.
Because it's not like a big show moment. It was just like
it is a big moment for Doute and Sandoval though.
Yeah, because that's when she kind of really stops going. Cause
no, it's not. It fuels her even more because she's like, this means Tom.
But she doesn't do anything else after that.
She brings Miami Girl out.
No, that was before.
That was before. I'm sorry.
That was before.
Was
yeah.
it? Okay, I'm sorry. I feel like.
That's why it confused me. That's why I had to look through so many episodes because I thought it was
But she says it's like this proves that Tom has an emotional stake in their relationship. It's like no duh, you were together for like 5 years.
7,
like,
I think.
Yeah, of course you're gonna have an emotional connection to this person. Like you look at this person and you're like, I viewed everything. Like you were everything. Like this was the person I thought was my person, and now we're not.
And like I said, I liked the person because Doute was being a monster.
Psychotic.
And Tom goes to confront her, but then she ends up crying.
And she ends up putting her hand on Tom, like consoling Tom.
Like as soon as he starts talking to her, she starts crying as like deflect almost.
Yeah.
And then he to get to her starts crying, which it's not like to make either of the
her. I think he just did that.
I was gonna say it's not like it's hard though to make either of the Toms.
Make Sandoval cry.
Either Tom cry.
I don't think Tom Schwartz has ever cried on camera.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, when they got married.
When he was drunk.
Yeah.
A couple times when he's been drunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was so interesting how like she got all defensive and I thought that's my number 5. What's yours?
When she fucked James on top of his car.
See, that's not even on my list. It's not even on my top 5.
That's my favorite. Well, when she was dating Carter, and I think they
just started dating.
What season was that?
6.
The
5 or 6.
Season 5, I think. And she starts dating Carter, and she goes to see James, and they're like, "How did it go?" And she's like, and James is like, "We fucked on top of my car." I thought that was so funny, like, just crazy. Like,
what's my number 4 moment?
I don't have any seasons written down, and
okay, I thought I'm gonna change my number 4 and number 3.
Okay.
Just
we're doing a little switcheroo, ladies.
Just to lead into
podcasting.
Just to lead into this, because my number.
What's your number 4?
My number 3. Let's just.
No, do your number 4.
All right,
fine. Chronological order. I just did. Then. Yeah.
My number 4 is the green dress.
That's also my number 4.
Fuck yeah, babe.
If you guys were curious as to our compatibility astrologically, I'm a Virgo rising and Adam is a Virgo sun. So we do understand each other on a level. And he's a Libra moon and I'm an Aries sun. So we do understand each other on a level that only the stars can understand.
I don't understand what that means.
Okay, cool. But so I just think this is iconic for all the right reasons. Like she looks hot, she's being completely irrational. Doesn't she go to collect their cable box? It's like, can't you just get
she goes to get letters. It's been letters. And Tom even goes, it's been months, like it's been 3 months. Why do you not have your address
address changed?
And first of all,
you can do it online, it's not that hard.
First of all, she comes in
stunning,
full makeup, full hair done, and there was even a part where
she got new tracks. I think she got new extensions too for those.
She was talking to James before, in a one-on-one thing, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over there just to collect some mail. And throw
it's
in their
important
face.
to know that I just feel absolutely awful for James their entire relationship.
But she's sitting there doing her makeup and her hair like it's like a professional, like she's going for a photo shoot
or for an audition.
And then, but lo and behold, the green dress that she wears in the confessionals during that season.
She looks hot. She looks great in that.
Which I'm just saying, it's like that's the level of like
beauty she was
aspiring for, like professional, behind the scenes.
I think she looks great.
Cable television. One-on-one interview, like that's the level she was going to talk to Tom, just to collect her mail, and she was trying to start something with the Tom. Tom Sandoval.
T Sandy.
Lucky enough, T Schwartz was there. T. Schwab was there.
Have I ever told you his... This is off topic, but have I ever shown you his Instagram?
Awkward. No, you haven't.
He, like, follows so many artists on the gram. It's so baffling that he still has that crazy Bubba art in his house.
Art artists or, like...
Like, art artists. Like, he follows, like, Rebecca Morgan, and then he'll follow, like, the Armory show. He follows Spring Break, the art fair. Like, he follows, like, big-name artists. Like, and, like, I think he follows Van Minnen, too. So it's like, Tom, you have access to get better art other than the Bubba art. Like, please get different art.
You think it's one of those show things?
No, I think he does I think he likes art. Like, I think he's...
No, I'm saying you think it's one of those show things.
The Bubba piece?
Yeah, the Bubba piece is like, Sheena always has her wedding photo, or always had her wedding photos up because it was like she owned them.
I guess.
The show, like, has rights to it.
I'm so curious as to see, like, what the art... Like, I don't know. I want Tishwa to become, like, a major art collector. I think that'd be so funny for his journey.
Just Tom be full of...
Tom be full of, like, art. Like, you'd go to Tom and it would be, like, going to, like, the Barnes Institute or going to, like, the Clark or something.
He has, like, Danny DeVito hair from the art gallery
yeah,
episode.
He's, Anglo-Glubrian or something.
I don't
know.
Anyways,
so my top 3 Doute moment.
Yeah, you go first this time.
It's when she punches James at...
Oh my god, me too! I was gonna switch it just to have the, just to be like, well, your number 5 was the James, my number 4 is the James.
My number 3 was the James.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Because she does truly, like, hit him. The first punch is kind of like...
She punches him 3 times. But then the second punch is like... And she punches him 3 times, and I thought it was really funny because they made an emphasis.
It's in a Muay Thai class at this point.
At the beginning of the season, they showed 3 different times, like, her coming out of her Muay Thai.
Her Muay Thai. When she goes boxing with James, and who was talking about it? I think it was either Kristen or Jax, and they were like, I did Botox, and then I didn't listen.
That was Jax.
That was Jax.
Jax and Kristen
blood was pouring out of my face.
Yeah, Jax and Kristen went to go do, like, boxing, like, a boxing workout together.
They looked great.
Skeptical over here, but we'll continue. I mean, it was just funny because, like, her first punch
was a little weak.
Was very weak.
She didn't believe in herself.
It was, like, limp wristed, and then her second punch was, like, straight.
Did she leave with her Muay Thai instructor?
I don't know.
She left with, like, somebody that, like,
some
I think
douchey
it was
guy.
Her fitness instructor.
It was some personal trainer, like something really douchey. And she had just ended it with James a week or 2 before, and James was still very much in the, like, I'm gonna get Kristen back. Even though it was all for the show, he was still very much in the, like...
I think he does love Kristen, though.
No, he does not.
I think he does because Kristen looks just like his mom.
What seasons do you think he loves her?
When he spits on her door. He's like, you smell bad.
You think he loved her at the end of season? We just watched the season 7 finale. And
we're all caught up now. I've seen all of season 8. I'm ready to go.
She was just Kristen just talking shit to James whenever he opened his mouth, and he had to leave the reunion.
Well, she was talking about his family.
Yeah,
but
you think he still loves her?
But Kristen has a little bone to pick with his mom because his mom stole Kristen's credit cards and then went to a spa.
Well, yeah, she's an alcoholic.
I can't imagine if your mom stole my credit cards and I was like, Adam.
It was just such a great, because James was so smashed
like,
at the wedding.
Where are you going? I just want to talk.
So smashed at the wedding. She leaves with her personal trainer. It was just like all the wrong things meeting at the right time. And then he just gets punched. He got punched a couple times.
Back away! I love when she goes like, back away, step down!
And then he kept on following her too.
He wanted to see her. He didn't know what had happened.
No, he wanted to, he was pissed that she was with another guy.
Yeah, no.
He didn't want to see her. He wanted to argue with her. He
wanted to bicker. Okay, so what's your second favorite Doute moment? I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what his second one is, because my second moment is the funniest thing to me.
My second one is Miami Girl.
Oh.
When she gets brought there.
This is where we diverge, folks.
And Tom and Ariana have to leave out the back.
They leave. They leave the ground.
They snuck out the back when Tom.
They zero dark 30 themselves from Sir.
Tom sees Miami Girl, and then he goes, "I'll be right back." Goes to the back. He says like he's making a drink. Gets Ariana and leaves. Like, straight up,
I always think it was funny that Lisa got mad at them. Like, what would you have wanted them to do?
Lisa, as the show producer, wants them to have this big blow up on...
You need to confront her.
Hey, don't do it in the restaurant, darling. Do it out back where the cameras can see you. Like,
in the Sir Alley.
Where we have the fenced-in parking lot.
There's no fence there.
It is a fence there.
Is there?
Yeah. You see it when James calls Katie fat.
Your arms look really good.
Well, thank you. You can see that. You can see maybe that's a newer season thing.
That's a new addition.
Because like you see, I think probably because too many people are going behind
when
the restaurant.
Jax and Lala walk out together in season 4 or 5.
All I know is you can see a fence
that's
in
a new addition,
season 7 when James
addition.
calls Katie fat
in the Pride wearing Parade. Those shorts.
Or maybe they just have a fence up because it's the Pride Parade and they're trying to keep people out from like the people.
I think
the
fence is a new development.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
But Miami Girl is iconic. I just didn't include her in my list because it's so iconic that it's like.
I just thought it was like that was such a, like. It was a high point of the season. It was a high.
When you get all of the girls out in the back and like Sheena screeching. I love when Vale is like, "Can you guys please?" It's like, "Don't talk to me, Vale. You're not involved in this." And Vale's okay, like, and she leaves. And then Diana comes out, the manager, and Kristen's like, "Suck a dick. You don't own the restaurant. I'm not at work." It's like.
Was it the same instance?
Yeah, when she's like, "Suck a dick, back away."
Wait, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is when she had just found out that Sandoval cheated on her. This is like season 2, I think. When she finds out that Sandoval cheated on her, like on her 30th birthday, and then Sandoval's like, "I'm kind of in the doghouse with Kristen right now," and he takes her to a barbecue place, like a Korean BBQ place, and Kristen is a total vegetarian.
Yeah.
I thought that was so funny. Like, that's one of the things, like, when I think about, it never fails to make me lol. That episode is so funny. Like, he's like, "Do you guys have anything, like, to eat that's, like, vegetarian?" And they're like, "Soup." Or, like, cabbage. I think that's so funny. And it's my favorite Doute moment because it's, like, she's just with somebody that doesn't get her and, like, doesn't. Like, I don't think Sandoval ever got her. Do you know what I mean?
Not really.
Like, you know how we get each other? Like, I feel like Sandoval, like, always missed something. Like, there was a part of... Like, with Ariana and Tom, you can tell they get each other. Do you know what I mean? Even though, like, they might not always understand, like, where they're coming from, they, like, respect each other. And they love each other enough. And I feel like Sandoval never got
We only ever
Doute.
saw the tail end of the relationship, though.
But it's like, I feel like... I mean, like, maybe in the beginning they did, but, like, you don't, like, that's how you just... If like, you just don't understand somebody, like, you're never gonna understand somebody.
So what's your number 1 moment, then? Or what's your number 2?
That's my number 2 when Sandoval took vegetarian Doute to the barbecue place.
And so what's your number 1 moment?
I want to hear your number 2 first.
I just told you my number 2. My number 2 is Miami Girl.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was your number 3? Oh, the punching James. Okay, I'm sorry. I got really confused for a second. My number 1 is when Sandoval and the gang were at Stassi's mom's house.
Yeah.
What was that? Where were they?
The lake.
What was that called? It wasn't Big Bear. That's where Rob took Sheena.
No.
It was
I don't
Arrowhead.
remember.
Lake Arrowhead.
Lake Arrowhead. Okay.
And Sandoval wanted to kiss her goodnight.
Oh, okay. See, okay, my problem, my only thing is, my number 1 moment was Kristen yelling, "Suck me on soft," and losing her job.
She doesn't say "suck me on soft," she says "suck a dick."
Are you sure she doesn't say "suck me on soft"?
No, she does not say "suck me on soft."
Oh, I could have sworn she said
because I
that.
say "suck me on soft," and I didn't get that from Doute. I got that from another thing.
Oh, maybe it's probably just you then. But that's my number 1 moment, is her getting fired.
Suck a dick!
Yeah, it's her getting
Step
fired.
Step away! Back off! I love the way she talks. First of all, I've smoked cigarettes. I smoked for a very, like, not a long time, but for an intense period of time, from, like, when I was 18 to probably when I was, like, 19. I have never met somebody who smokes a cigarette in the way that Doute smokes a cig. I think if I ever saw somebody contort their whole body, like, around the cigarette and, like encapsulate it, I'd be like, bro, what the hell? Like, are you okay? Like, but, I think it was so funny when Tom was like, "I just want to kiss her goodnight," and Katie and Stassi were like, "Get the fuck out of here! Like, what are you doing?" I always thought that was really funny. And then when Tom is performing in Pierce the Arrow and she's dancing, like, in the front row, like.
So, you really think that her not kissing Sandoval goodnight in Arrowhead is the number 1 Kristen moment of the whole entire...
These are, like, personal tastes. These are just things that, like, I find, like, lol-worthy, and, like, when I watch them, I'm reminded of, like, how funny I think Doute is. But then, like, you know, my honorably mentioned, my bonus, is when they were talking about Jax and Kristen fucking, and, Stassi says that Kristen had Jax cover her mouth because she knew that turned him on.
That's gross. That's TMI. I don't need to know that.
Well, that's what Stassi said. I think it's also funny that Raquel says it's a known fact that Kristen is a little deranged.
I mean, isn't it?
It is a known fact.
I mean, I feel like Kristen would admit that.
Kristen would admit that. But I just
Kristen,
think
when you come on the pod, we want you to admit that.
Doute, you can come on the pod, and we're going to be an open and accepting environment for you. We want to hear from you.
You are the best cast member.
You are loved here. We will love you. And if you want to, you know, we can get a little drunk and we can see where the night takes us.
Okay, I'm just a little embarrassed that Miami Girl and Suck My Dick moment were the same moment. I thought there were two different moments.
No, it's when she comes out and, like, Diana is like, you have... I work at a restaurant, and granted it's not as sexy or unique as Sir. But I cannot imagine, like, going out, like, bringing another person to that environment who I would know would cause trouble, and then being like, I don't get why I was fired. Mm-hmm. First of all, why are you... The one thing that's always continued to baffle me is, like, why do you people all show up where you work? Like, I don't want to be where I work. Like, ever, when I'm not working. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even when I used to work at a place that was, like, a bar or whatever...
Well, I mean, how many friends did you have working there if your whole friend group revolved around this one thing?
I guess you're right, but it's like... I don't want to be... I don't want... What are you... I can't...
I mean, do you have any wild card moments? Like, is there anything that, like,
I'm really upset that neither of us picked our most iconic Doute moments is when she fucked Sandoval to drive.
That's what I was gonna say. My wild card moment is just her fucking and lying about fucking Jax.
In my notes I wrote, Carter is ugly and also a bitch.
Why is he a bitch?
Because I just think he's such a fucking...
You think he's such a fucking what?
I just think he's, like, ugly... And I think his beard needs to go.
Uh-huh.
And,
I mean, I think he's just kind of, like, spineless and just repeats it.
I love when he's like, stories, they be changing.
I just think when, like, he takes Kristen's side and it's like, dude, you shouldn't be, like he... When
well,
he,
let's get... I have a question to ask
you. When there was the argument between Sandoval and I don't remember who... Oh, it was, Katie and Schwartz... for their, like, engagement party in Mexico, and
they didn't go to Mexico. They went to Louisiana.
Whatever.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Wherever they went,
James and Kristen hooked up. What are you trying to say, babe?
I can't think of it now.
Okay. I wonder what Friends character Kristen thinks she is, because they all love Friends so much. I think if I had to describe one, I'd say she's Phoebe. Mm-hmm. That's always darked me out a little bit. Like, I remember going through a very intense Friends phase when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And, like, me and my friends would, like, stay up to watch it at Nick at Night, and then when I got to be, like, I think when I got out of middle school, I never watched it again. Mm-hmm. And, like, it didn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, it was on the CW for a while.
Yeah, so it's really, I mean, I guess this show, like, Friends came out when they were, like...
They were, like, teenagers.
Teenagers, so it's probably really, really... Not even. Like, if you're 30 years old and Friends came out, you're probably
early 2000s.
20s.
No, the teenagers, babe.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about math to do that. But, I just think it's so weird. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. There's no show other than this one that I would, like, watch religiously and, like, quote pretty memorably.
But for our generation, it's The Office.
That's I know, but, like, it reminds me of, like, when, like, you'd, like, be on Tinder or something, like a dating website, maybe not Tinder, maybe it's a Bumble or, like, whatever, and, like, everybody would be like, I love Friends and The Office, and you'd be like, those aren't personality traits.
Yeah.
Like, those are TV shows.
Those are TV shows, and, like, not, I'm gonna say lowest common denominator, but, like, pretty low common denominator.
Everybody likes Friends.
Nothing's
in The Office.
gonna, yeah.
Like, there's nothing that's said in The Office that is, like, challenging.
That's what your mom said.
What?
Wait, that's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what your
mom said.
Oh my goodness. Oh jeez.
My mom hates The Office though.
Uh-huh. I mean, I thought I remembered what I was gonna say about Doute finally. Jesus Christ.
Boy,
Carter just like the argument between Sandoval and Katie, where Carter just started like spouting off all these things about Tom cheating and not owning up to cheating. It's like, oh, this is all just stuff Kristen's telling him.
Also, what is your place in this friend group? Like, why would you ever speak up? Like, like,
yeah, I don't know either.
That's my favorite thing about Doute is, like, for me, personally, like, I think I'm pretty aware of, like...
How do you think Doute feels that, like, she helped set up, like, Sandoval...
Oh, and Ariana, and Katie, and Schwartz, and Stassi, and Beau, and now she's not even going to be a bridesmaid in Stassi and Beau's wedding.
And that, like, Stassi got invited to Kristen and Tom's, or Katie and Tom's honeymoon when she's the one who set him up.
I think she's, like, one of those people who doesn't really...
She expected to be Britney's maid of honor.
Which doesn't even make any sense. You've known this girl for, like, 2 years. I mean, you might have eaten her pussy, but you...
Yeah, that's the real reason.
She's like, that's why I need to be Britney's.
That's the real reason she thought she deserved it. She's like, I'm the only one who's eating Britney's cookies, so I'm the one who's...
I hate when, I like that Lisa calls her Kentucky muffin now.
Her Kentucky muffin, yeah.
Britney's... Kristen was eating Kentucky muffin. Ugh. She thought she was being clever.
Kentucky muffin.
That's Lisa.
I still like Uncle Joey's. Uncle Joey has the best name for a vagina.
What is it?
A monkey.
Joey Diaz.
Uncle Joey, yeah, monkey.
They do kind of look like monkeys. They're hairy.
Okay. Oh, on that note,
I don't know why. I don't understand. I think my favorite Vanderpump moment of all time, like my favorite Vanderpump moment. Adam's telling me I need to wrap it up.
There's a question mark on that. You're not supposed to read the reason why I don't say these things out loud is because you're supposed to read them.
Adam wrote me a little note that says, "You're very beautiful, and I think you're amazing."
Yeah, that's what it says.
Dong slut.
Stop.
Dumb slut.
You're not supposed to read these out loud.
Kristen Doute is not a dumb slut, Adam. It's very disrespectful of you.
No, it's definitely not talking about you.
Are these potato chips really $4.29? That's exorbitant.
What do you... Okay.
I'm sorry. We're going to wrap it up now.
I'm Adam McAvoy.
I'm Lori Fogg.
And this is Stop Being Hateful. I don't know why we said it at the same time.
We're on the same page, baby.
Okay.